Hey everybody, this is a moment with the president of HRP. Tad Goetcheus, COO and president of the company, is up from our Greenville, South Carolina office where he typically resides. But Tad, you are up here. We wanted to take this opportunity to have you kind of speak about a couple different topics so that the folks out there who are subscribed to HRP, as well as the HRPers out there in the audience, can kind of get a sense of what's going on in the company and kind of what's up with you. Just a quick little check-in.
No, I'll be happy to do that. And yeah, this week I'm in the corporate office in Connecticut. I usually do run around and live in South Carolina and work in the South Carolina offices. But I do bounce around different offices. And I would say in another month or so, I'm going to head up to New York and work out of that office. But I'll be focusing my time this week here in Connecticut.
So what can you tell us about what's going on with HRP and the company? What do you want to share with the folks out there?
We're off to a great start. We've really had 2 very good months with the numbers for the company. Okay, so you're always talking about revenue, but then you're also talking about profit and things like this. Mm-hmm. Well, you're also talking about people being busy with time utilization, doing effective work and things in the field. And what we're going to represent today, which is neat, is the grind that we went through in the previous 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. There's a reason why we did it, and there's cause and effect. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be talking a lot about that and the growth of the company and where we're headed in that direction, but also some recent wins. That's what I love also about coming here. I get to, rather than just looking at a team screen or a phone call, I can kind of rub elbows with the pursuits team and find out about the RFPs they're on. We got a couple recent wins with the Hartford Housing Authority, also another Brownfield award from a county that we hadn't previous work with. So that's new and exciting too. Yeah. And also hearing about the overall team effort that we're going with our DEC renewal, trying for that contract again, but seeing all the team members, but how that's organized and how we're doing that approach. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of neat to see how everybody lends their hands into that. So that's the messages we're doing. We're also going to be talking about some structural changes. It's just like a ball club or being around the house or working on your car. You're always trying to tweak the dials a little bit and can get a little bit better. I think it's important to do that, to be cognizant of who you are, where you want to go, what your growth is, the talent you had to always kind of push your efforts. In essence, you go out and train for 3-mile run, but you probably can do a 5-mile run. Let's talk about how we can make everybody buy into the 5-mile run. So we're going to be talking about some of that growth too as well with individuals, some changing of positions, some key positions, some key additions, and key contracts that we're going after.
Awesome. So what's going on with you personally? What's new?
Well, what's new with me is I am really glad spring is here.
Yeah.
Spring is my time. I like that for a couple of reasons. It makes me happy. It gets me happy. I think people are happy for me.
I'm happy for you, Tad.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah. I like spring because I like to be outside, and I'm a big flower guy. I'm a big gardening guy. I got my hydrangeas clipped, and they're coming in, and the tulips and the Asian lilies and the gardenias and I get to plant the garden. I just harvested all my bok choy and arugula, and now I get to plant more vegetables and just outside and tinker. So that's kind of who I am and what I do. Anything I can do to be outside to do all that. And also coming up on a vacation. Hadn't had a good vacation in a while. Good. And try getting smarter where you do it in the warmer months, but not the most warm months.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But I got a kind of a little dream trip with the family set up. The 3 of us are headed to Portugal.
Wow, Portugal. That's awesome. Where in Portugal?
Yeah, so at the end of April and the beginning of May, we're going to go fly into Lisbon, and we're going to be there about 5 days in and around Lisbon. Some day trips and things, and there's it's neat. We're with a company that we're doing some culture. We're getting to see the sites and museums and the restaurants, things of that nature. But it's a coastal city, so we'll be in and around looking at some of the ancient cities. Then we're going to take about a day to get to the next stop, which is Porto. And the same thing there, that's in the north, another 5 days in and around there. But in between that, we're going to go to like an artistic tile making class. They're known for tile. Daughter's doing a jewelry making class. Of course, maybe while that's happening, I'll be sampling port, which is my favorite. If I could have actually one thing, if you ever said about one adult thing to try, would be port wine.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I never knew about port wine, and that was one of the neat things I learned working at HRP. The P of HRP brought me into the wonderful world of sushi and port wine just by being a business guy, going out and on sites. So looking forward to that. But that was always on our dream list, and then we're going to end it with 3 days in London. On the way back. That kind of was a selfish thing for me. I just really enjoy London. The new age London from 20 years ago. It's a lot different, and I really enjoyed it. I just think it's like New York City. There's just always something else you can do. So plus it lessens the trip on the way back. So I kind of threw that out there. Have zero planned there, but I'm looking for that. Used up every travel point I have.
Yep.
So to make it happen, airlines, hotels, and all that. So personally, really looking forward to that.
So for anyone out there who doesn't know, HRP has this thing called a forward moment, where we share safety tips, but also different things we're doing to be actively involved in our communities and help advance sustainability. It's something we do to start off every meeting here at HRP. And I was wondering, since you've been up here, have you heard any good ones? Any really great forward moments that stick out for you?
The forward moment for me, I always really try to look at it, whether I'm creating them or someone else creates them and they post, because we often share those ideas, and I try to take it as kind of an inspiration for myself, motivation, but also for others. I attend a lot of the work in progress meetings. So oftentimes I will try to turn that into an experience for others of how it relates to our work. But I also was really moved by the things that we did in Black History Month and Women History Month. Our forward moment could be safety. It could be an inspirational thing about the inclusion of folks. But the forward moments for me, I usually try to push those to make sure people understand. I know we often sometimes put lessons from the company in there too. Inspirational lessons about sustainability and some of the things we're doing as we try to talk to our folks about this is what we're trying to do. But I also try to put lessons in there myself from my career. Like one of the things that I always learned was, support, question up and support down. And you want to know, why are we doing? What is the purpose? What is my why? And you want to question the people up to you or push into higher responsibility. Can I get a shot at that? And the support down means is be there, be available, to learn, to mentor, to teach and things like that. So sometimes I'll put some of those life lessons into it. One of the one that resonates me with right now is sometimes it's not about being right. It's about having the right outcome. So oftentimes I think, especially in this world, we try to, flaunt and show who we are and stick out our chest or kind of maybe belittle others about being right. And, maybe you need to be a little bit more humble. And this world will humble you very quickly. So respect that, be humble, be kind to others. And it's about the outcome, not for yourself, but always the team. I come to work for everyone else. I don't come to work for myself. That's the way I look at it. So sometimes I'll try to bring that into examples. So forward moments are important. I'm so glad we take that seriously, and we do in all of our offices and our meetings.
All right. Well, Tad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tom.
And everybody out there, thanks for being here too. And we'll see you next week.
See y'all.